just an infectious personality. I knew when he came in early on that, I would tell him all the time, I said, son, people are going to follow you. It just depends on where you're going to lead them. And over the next 4 years, he just became, a phenomenal leader.
He's a fighter. No matter what, if he's hurt, anything, hurting, he'll push through it. He's a good friend also.
After his injury, his junior year, he worked extremely hard to get back for this senior season, not just as an individual, but as a teammate. And, I said it all the time, when Reese goes, we go. And it wasn't just, his yards or his carries in a game. It was his attitude and the way he approached practice, the way he came out. It's great to have one of your best players also to be your hype man on the sideline too.
It's definitely a challenge with some of the kids we have on here who like to have fun all the time. You just definitely have to be serious about it and come to him and say something, because if you don't, who will?
He's just, people gravitate to him, and he did a great job of being a positive leader for us. There's a lot of times when some things were not going our way, and he was the first one to step up and say, to keep things positive and keep things going. It's been a lot of fun to see him grow as an individual and as an athlete. 3 years ago, Graham had a pretty tough injury, and we didn't know if he was going to come back or not. I think the doctor told him not to come back, and he basically told the doctor and his parents that he was going to play football. And over the next 2 years, he just grew into a leader up front for us on the offensive line. Not just for those 5 guys up front, but for when we walked out in practice, when we walked out into the locker room.
Well, Graham, he was the one that helped me out the most. If I had any questions, then he'd always either yell at me or he would say just what I had to do, what my assignments were to block this guy, block that guy. Honestly, I think he supported the offensive line really well. I think he was a great leader. Whenever somebody needed help, he was there. He was just the one to help everybody the most.
Just try to stay as focused as possible, and that's what I always preach to Jacob and Kenyatta since they were young and never played varsity. I try to always preach to them to stay as focused as they can, because I was once in that position as a sophomore and a junior, and it's really easy to get unfocused in the heat of a football game.
I have great relationships with all these guys, but the one that I think I have with Graham is truly special. I just feel like we really grew, together over these last 4 years, and for him to and all these guys to go out with this type of season is really special, and I'm really proud of him. JoJo's just a character, a great personality, loves to have fun, loves to goof around with his teammates, with the coaches. He would always come into the coach's office and, hang out with us and always try to, pull pranks on us, mess with us, just say silly stuff and then run out just to try to get a reaction out of us. But we knew once he crossed the white lines that, he would flip a switch and he would just go into just a different mindset and just, I don't know how he can do it, but he just does it.
It's just his personality. He would come to practice every single day and he would laugh, he would have fun, but then in the moments that were right, he would get to it. And he really showed throughout the defense. He got lots of tackles and he was a key part, truly was.
I would say the best way to be a leader is just make sure you're someone to look up to. When something happens that most people would get down about or would put their heads down, make sure to lift your head up, and make sure to consciously think about other people watching you, and make sure you know that other people are looking up to you.
Once again, just somebody that, you know, the seniors, the underclassmen looked up to. They knew that, you know, that he was somebody they can go to in the locker room and have a great time, but they also knew that once they got on the practice field that he knew what was going on and that he would help mentor the younger guys and get them ready to play. He's very quiet. He comes in, works hard, does everything that you're supposed to do, and when he does speak, it's loud and people listen, and he did a great job of getting people in check when he needed to during practice and on Friday night.
I just tried my hardest during practice to be able to learn everything, learn everybody's job, and it kind of just came to me and took over the position.
Well, Jack was like the silent leader of the defense. He was the most mature one by far, and so he usually kept us in check during practice and during games and everything. And he always tried to keep us focused and always wanted to win.
It was amazing. Again, everybody kind of doubted us after we lost a core group of seniors last year, and I think we all knew that it wasn't going to be a bad season ourselves, and we just believed it until the end.
Just a solid young man, a solid individual, a great football player.